Fox News contributor Laura Ingraham is standing by. Laura, good to see you. Your take on tonight and also the battle that is emerging in terms of if a candidate doesn't get to 1237, the, well, you might say enticements that might be going on, certainly the courting of delegates to switch for a second ballot vote. Your thoughts?
Sean, I don't even think the question tonight, after watching this massive victory by Trump in New York, is whether he gets to 1237. He may not. But unless something really wacky happens over the next 4 to 6 weeks, he's going to go into that convention with the most delegates and the most votes. And tonight's exit poll showed that 70% of New Yorkers said that the person with the most delegates and most votes should become the nominee. So the only question, I think, after tonight, and after, as Rudy pointed out, the broad victories he's had, he'll have in the Northeast, he'll have in the South, he'll have in places like New York, out in Arizona. The only question is, how far will the Republican establishment go to kill off this guy who is the most popular of all the other candidates? Now, this is analysis.
Well,
this is not an endorsement of Trump. This is an analysis. How far will Mitch McConnell and Paul Ryan and all the other people who say, oh, they're not putting their finger on the scale, but come on. I mean, we heard Mitch McConnell today. We heard Paul Ryan talk about the negative tone. Meanwhile, Sean, we're hearing about Trump staffers being blacklisted if they ever try to work again. Now, who has the bad tone now? Is it Trump or is it the GOP establishment that seems like it's pulling out every stop to try to stop him from getting this nomination? I think that's the real question.
New York voters in exit polls said 70% of them said that the person that has the most votes, the most delegates, won the most states, they should get the nomination. But Mitch McConnell, now, and it was 60%, interestingly, in Wisconsin, where Donald Trump did not win in Wisconsin. Right. But still, the people there said the same. Mitch McConnell said when we get a nominee at 1237, he'll actually be the candidate. If not, there'll be a second ballot. And I want delegates to pick somebody who can win. Now, when you add those comments to Mitt Romney's comments, to Karl Rove's comments, prominent people within the GOP, doesn't it sound like they want the white knight candidate and they want to defy the will of the voters and disenfranchise them?
I think, Sean, this is where there is going to be a come-to-Jesus moment for Ted Cruz at some point, and it's going to come soon. He better be really sure that all these, the delegate maneuvering that he's done, which has been good for him, it's been a smart thing to do, but he better make sure that all these people are wrapped up for him, because he might get to that convention and find a stiletto in his back, figuratively speaking. And he will have no leverage at that point. And how much power will he have if Hillary ends up being president of the United States? How much power will any of these Republicans have? Their agenda, their foreign policy, maybe they'll get the trade from Hillary, and maybe they'll get immigration amnesty finally from Hillary. But as far as the Supreme Court, everything that we know is so important, they'll lose it all. So I know all the never-Trumpers feel like they're clean and they're pure and all of that. But if the majority of Americans and most delegates of the whole group goes to the guy who doesn't get the nomination, I don't see how this is going to end up well for the Republicans. I think it's a perilous course. And if this were anyone else but Trump right now, we would be seeing a coronation over at Capitol Hill at the RNC headquarters. But because it's him, no such happening.
So the establishment is mad at how the people have voted. People, by the way, that I think have legitimate anger and frustration with the Republican Party that has promised, for example, to stop executive amnesty and repeal and replace Obamacare and use the power of the purse, things that they never got done. Didn't they, in a sense, very much create an atmosphere where people want an outsider, and now they're going to work behind the scenes, perhaps deviously, to try and, take that vote away from the people, or maybe even work against the candidate? Is that something we have to watch out for?
I don't see a lot of signs that the establishment, even most of the big donors, are learning all that much from all of this. It would be nice if instead of the comment we heard from Mitch McConnell that he's basically looking forward to a second ballot, if someone like a McConnell, who's a smart guy, who said, we're watching what's going on, and we're hearing the people's substantive concerns, not the personality contest, not the beauty contest, but the substantive concerns they have about the trade deal, about open borders, about more foreign workers coming in, about the refugees pouring into the country. We hear you, and we're going to make some revisions. We're going to at least meet you halfway, people.
Right.
But, Sean, if the party no longer represents the people on these key issues, then there really is no party. At some point, the party just becomes something else, I guess.
Well, if they try the white knight strategy, which Mitch McConnell was talking about and other prominent Republicans are, there will be no party. There will be anger. It's predicated on anger, resentment, hostility, and disenfranchisement. Laura, good to see you. Thank you.